One local doctor's lingering concerns after two people sneak into a clinic and go on a theft spree.
I looked at my bank account and I could see, a forged check that had gone through.
Plus, local firefighters stare down danger and potentially save a life in the process.
So they went through the window of the fire unit and found the victim.
And the lengths a thief went to steal from a Hillsboro restaurant.
You would just never think that someone would hide in a closet.
Our top story tonight is the weather. It's already mid-August now, but the last couple of days have been feeling much more like fall, especially during the morning. Thanks so much for joining us here at 11. I'm John Adams. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri has a look at our first forecast. And Joe, when could we see some summer temperatures make a return here?
You're going to have to wait a few days, but we'll gradually see our temperatures warm with each day of the new week. Starting tomorrow, we'll be looking at temperatures in the mid to the upper 70s. Right now, at the Pioneer Park building camera in downtown Portland, temperature of 67 degrees. Clouds are starting to increase. As we look into tomorrow, it's going to be more of the same. Morning clouds, and they could be thick enough where we do see some light spritzes, some little pockets of sprinkles and drizzle. But again, in terms of heavy downpours, not going to see it. Again, if we see anything, it's this is the only day this week that we're going to be looking at the threat of some light rain out there as an upper level low pushes off, bringing in more of an onshore flow to start things off tomorrow morning. And as we look at the weather headlines, overnight we'll see mostly cloudy skies, mild temperatures overnight, morning clouds tomorrow, but I'm expecting to see a lot of sunshine late part of the afternoon. And late this week, John, that's when the August heat returns, with temperatures starting Friday getting right around 90 degrees. And that could start a 3-day stretch. Tomorrow we turn sunny later on in the day with temperatures right around 80 degrees. And again, I did bump up my temperatures for the end of this week and into the next weekend, a little bit warmer from what we saw during the 5 o'clock. But some models are showing a little bit more of a little mini heat wave. I'll talk more about that in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. We'll see you later in the show. A local doctor is sounding the alarm after he says a person dressed in hospital scrubs slipped into his office and stole a number of checkbooks, eventually cashing a forged check for $2,000. Now he's hoping photos of that individual will help bring them to justice. Dr. Mark LaGrasse is a pediatric cardiologist at a clinic near Legacy Emanuel in Portland. He says on August 12th around 1 p.m., two individuals came into his clinic. One was wearing a white t-shirt. The other person was in hospital scrubs.
The person in the hospital scrubs entered a door which normally is only allowed for patients and staff, and started going into doctors' offices, including mine.
Dr. LaGrasse says the person was noticed by other employees, but wasn't thought to be an intruder.
She was seen by two of my staff who I think assumed she was there related to my activities, checking a pacemaker. And that person went into my office and went to my backpack and stole 3 of my checkbooks.
The two individuals then left the clinic. They were only there for a total of 7 minutes. Just 2 hours later, there was an attempt to cash a forged check totaling $2,300 from LaGrasse's checkbook. That attempt was denied. But the thieves were later able to cash a $2,000 check at a different credit union. The brazen incident has left LaGrasse fearful for his safety and the safety of his staff and patients.
I'm concerned about impersonating hospital employees, the risk of danger to my staff and the doctors and the patients and families.
He is also concerned that his home may now be broken into because the thieves have his address. LaGrasse hopes that someone can help identify who these people are and report them to Portland police before they strike again.
I think there'll be people in the community who will recognize these two and will say, hey, I know that person. So if they can, reach out.
We're still waiting to learn more about a deadly pedestrian crash in Portland's Lloyd district. The Police Bureau's major crash team says 2 people were hit by a semi just before 3 this morning at Northeast MLK and Holiday. It was near the entrance to the Oregon Convention Center. One person died on scene while the other was rushed to the hospital with serious injuries. The semi driver kept going but was eventually stopped in Southeast Portland. It's not clear if they were aware of the crash. Police are asking anyone with information to reach out. Well, it's now been 4 years since a man was stabbed to death in rural Marion County. His parents are still holding out hope for answers. A suspect or suspects attacked Travis Jutton and his wife at their home on Northeast Hazel Green Road and Howell Prairie Road in August of 2021. Travis's wife Hazel survived being stabbed. Today we heard from Travis's mother. She says she hasn't heard from the sheriff's office since reaching out in June. She adds she hasn't received an official update since last April.
It's extremely frustrating. Travis was murdered in a house that I was raised in. And I know that house very well. I know that area very well. I can tell you, no stranger walked into that house and killed my son. That just didn't happen.
Travis was 26 years old. A $50,000 reward remains for the person who can give information that leads to an arrest and a conviction. An investigation is underway in Hillsborough after a house fire sent 2 people to the hospital with serious injuries. It happened on Northeast 4th Avenue in Milne Court. That's by Evergreen Middle School. Firefighters were able to get the 2 people out less than 10 minutes after the first 911 call was made. A second crew helped to put out the fire. A Portland resident and a firefighter sent to the hospital this morning after a fire damaged 2 apartment units in Northwest Portland. Firefighters broke through windows at Northwest 23rd and Overton to help rescue a man from his second-story apartment. Portland Fire and Rescue says a firefighter injured his back during the rescue as crews carried down the unconscious man on a ladder.
Very serious fire, and the fire crews did a great job of getting in quick, saving that life, getting up there and doing that search through the window and making sure that all lives were rescued and gotten out of the fire unit.
A dog and a cat did die in the fire. The man rescued by firefighters is reportedly in serious condition with burns and smoke inhalation. Portland Fire and Rescue also adds the fire spread to an adjacent apartment and that another resident was taken to the hospital with minor injuries and possible smoke inhalation. Tens of thousands of dollars were stolen from a Hillsborough restaurant on Thursday night. The suspect was hiding inside the Mad Greek Deli until after hours to commit the crime. Jay Coulter spoke to the owner today. He said the suspect hid in a closet for nearly an hour to steal the safe.
He hid right in here.
Mad Greek Deli owner Jake Marks describing how someone stole from his restaurant Thursday night. The bartender and cook present at the time.
One was in the front cleaning the bar, and then my cook was in the kitchen cleaning the kitchen. They emerged from the closet, watched to see that the coast was clear.
You can see in this surveillance video Mark shared with us that the suspect finds and then tries to take the safe, but is unsuccessful at first. Moments later, the suspect tries again, this time succeeding, pulling the safe up from the floor and fleeing the restaurant. Mark says the suspect made off with close to $30,000.
All that money that was stolen, I still owe to Oregon Lottery.
Not only that, Mark said this is the second time lottery money has been stolen from his restaurant in 6 months. He says this has been a pattern in the area.
And if you look around to all of these businesses that are being targeted, the one common thing is they all have lottery.
But above all, Mark says he's just glad his employees are safe.
If someone is willing to hide next to a water heater that's 200 degrees for an hour to come out while people are still in the building to take a safe from the property, there's no telling what they would do.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
The Washington County Sheriff's Office says the safe was found empty in Beaverton on Friday morning. We're still waiting on more information about other businesses that may have been targeted. Gresham police are searching for whoever destroyed a portable toilet last night. It was initially reported as gunshots just after 10 at Southwest Saddlewood Lane and 38th Street. Officers in the explosive disposal unit responded only to find out that someone had set off an M80 style firework in a porta potty. No word on any suspects at this time. A traffic alert for this week. Starting tomorrow, there will be daytime closures of the Steel Bridge. It's so ODOT crews can perform its biennial inspection. The bridge will remain open to pedestrians, cyclists, and train riders. The inspections are scheduled to end on Friday. Another area city is moving forward with new camping restrictions. It follows the Supreme Court's ruling that sided with Grants Pass over a ban on camping on public property. Tomorrow, the Camas City Council will introduce its camping ban. It would prevent camping in any park, street, or public property or areas vulnerable to wildfire. It also would ban sleeping on public sidewalks. First-time offenders could face a fine of up to $100. We'll follow that meeting and keep you updated.